In a random day in June of 2025, I was wasting away my time scrolling Instagram Reels, until something baffling came up. An account proclaiming to show what the world would be like if kids ran it. I was met with fully AI-generated slop, suggesting a ridiculous idea of what life would be like if kids ruled the world. This isn't unique. There are many soulless AI-generated content farms all over the internet, but the execution was absurd enough that I sent it to my friends and didn't think much of it. That wasn't until a few days later when I came across the page again. Only this time I want to take a further look into the account and see if all the videos were truly this bad. While watching an embarrassing amount of these videos, I was met with an overwhelmingly present theme. That being cheese pizza. Now, this should be a relatively innocent thing, right? Pizza's fun, it's a simple food, often loved and consumed by children, so the mention of it wouldn't be any stranger than something like gummy bears or chocolate, which are other commonly occurring themes on this channel. But as I delved a little deeper, the ever-present theme of pizza became more and more suspicious to me. I lived through 2016. I've seen my fair share of conspiracy documentaries, so red flags immediately went off in my head. Many commenters were also urging people to check the link in the description, so that's what I did, only to find no link. I had a bad feeling about this page, but I thought I was just being neurotic and closed off Instagram for the day. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was deeply off about this account, but I decided to go about my day and forget about it. I was wrong to do that. On July 8th, 2025, the now iconic If Kids Ran the Airport video was uploaded to Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok by KidPowerHQ. Eventually, this video was picked up by the algorithm and gained a lot of traction for its stupidity and absurdity. This video was eventually re-edited to make it even goofier than it originally was, and was then picked up as a popular TikTok audio. Many people just thought it was stupid and silly, but this innocent perception of the video didn't last long, as people started picking up on some red flags on these accounts. One of the first videos to blow up was uploaded by TikToker Fever. He claimed that KidPowerHQ was actually part of a child exploitation ring, and that their Instagram account had hosted a link in their bio that led to incredibly illegal material. While no proof was directly provided, this discourse led many to become fascinated with what truly was behind this AI slop account. Was it just garbage, or was there something deeper? While investigating these accounts, internet sleuths made some pretty fascinating and disturbing realizations. The first piece of information that should be made clear is that this account is based in India. This is made clear not only by their account's location, but also the hashtags that they use. The next thing people looked into was their following list. This is where some truly disturbing ideas arose. On a surface level, they follow very basic accounts like Donald Trump, Dwayne Johnson, Ronaldo, the Army, that sort of thing. However, they also follow Taylin Biggs, an 11-year-old influencer. This is strange, especially considering how this was one of only 9 people that they followed, but Taylin's got a big Instagram and clearly has a lot of clout, judging by all the celebrities she hangs out with. So, following her isn't inherently creepy. However, the same cannot be said for an account by the name of USA_kids. From the archive footage that we have, USA Kids seemed to be just an innocent account that posted relatable memes for parents. Nothing out of the ordinary. What was strange, though, was that one of their highlights was titled Models, and featured pictures of young children modeling. Nothing explicit or inappropriate, but it still raised some eyebrows. Real filth was revealed when looking at the comment sections on their Instagram. Almost every comment section had what were probably botted accounts posting this GIF, encouraging you to check out the link in their bio. When checking said bios, you'd be met with a Telegram link. For those who aren't familiar, Telegram is a free messaging app, not unlike something you've probably used before. However, what makes Telegram different is its security and anonymity. Telegram is often used to distribute illegal material. Because of this, Telegram has claimed a pretty bad reputation, having a clear association with the distribution of horrific media. Needless to say, many people were sketched out by these accounts, but some users who were very invested in the case actually made Telegram accounts to reach out to the accounts hosted on the Instagram pages. What they were met with was shocking. Multiple people reached out to these accounts and all received similar messages. The sleuths would inquire into their services, and the creeps on the other end would detail their material alongside pricing. I want to establish real quick that this material will be referred to as CSAM as opposed to CP. For those who don't know, CP is an abbreviation for child porn, and has been used to describe this material for a while now. However, the word porn implies some level of consent, which is impossible in regards to this material. So, CSAM is the proper, respectful term to use. That being said, the amount of CSAM material offered to these sleuths was absolutely disgusting. We're talking terabytes of evil filth, all basically 5 clicks away from KidPowerHQ. The realization was revolting, and eventually people started spreading these findings online. Obviously, this enraged people, and empowered them to go out and report this content, in an attempt to shut down whatever abuse ring was happening here. The footage of this account and the screenshots of the messages have been taken by Logfu's video on the topic. His work has been incredibly helpful in the research of this video, so I recommend that you check out his videos after this one. His channel will be linked in the description. Upon this disgusting realization, people started to mass report KidPowerHQ on TikTok alongside a mass report of USA Kids on Instagram, leading to both accounts being taken down. It seemed pretty clear what was happening with USA Kids, but the true nature of KidPowerHQ has been clouded by people conflating it with USA Kids. Once this information spread, the comment sections of KidPowerHQ were swarmed with people talking about allegations of child abuse and Telegram links. This led KidPowerHQ to issue some statements regarding the allegations on their YouTube community tab and Instagram story. These didn't actually address any of the horrific allegations being thrown toward them, but rather just went on about their mission to make fun videos for kids. Their first community post on YouTube, which has since been removed, read, "Dear KidPowerHQ family, I want to clarify something important. All content on this channel is 100% safe and created for kids and families. Every story is designed to inspire kindness and fun. Unfortunately, my TikTok account was wrongly banned due to false reports. I've appealed and I'm hoping for a fair review. I stand by the values we've built here: creativity, safety, and positivity. If you believe in what we're doing, your support means the world right now. Thank you for being with me. This is just the beginning." Understandably, the comments under this post were very critical of the channel, with the ratio of likes to comments being 16 to 152. Everyone below is pushing them on their connections to the Telegram chats and making jokes about cheese pizza and the island. Now, I think it's important that we establish what exactly these alleged code words are that people are picking up on. The main and most notorious child abuse code word is cheese pizza. From what I can find, this meaning comes from 4chan. In the 2000s and early 2010s, many boards joked about pedophilia, with memes like pedo bear being iconic and commonplace. These memes and jokes were shared between edgelords and actual predators alike, one of the biggest being CP, as an abbreviation for child. People would find pictures of innocent things with the letter CP on them, and the rest is self-explanatory. Things like Club Penguin, COD Points, or Communist Party, just to name a few. Eventually, cheese pizza became a common joke word for child abuse material, and it stuck. Eventually, in 2016, a political campaign manager's email was breached and leaked online. These emails contained a lot of insane material, like messages seemingly related to the cult of Thelema, information on how Bernie Sanders was snubbed in the election, and most notoriously, many mentions of pizza in ways that didn't really make sense under a normal context. Since the mentions of pizza and cheese pizza were so randomly and seemingly nonsensically used, people on Chan sites attempted to decipher these emails and came to the conclusion that these odd mentions of food were code words for child abuse. From there, the story blew up, and millions were exposed to cheese pizza as a code word. Since then, people online have kind of been primed to understand that random mentions of cheese pizza could be something more, as actual predators use pizza emojis and iconography to dog whistle to those who knew. Unfortunately, pizza isn't their only code word. If you've been on the internet for a while, you might recognize sauce being used in contexts that don't really make a lot of sense. As the story goes, on many of the NSFW boards on 4chan, a very common comment was users asking for the source of the image so they could do as they pleased with it. A 4chan administrator decided to play a joke with these users and replaced mentions of the word source with sauce. For a small amount of time, hundreds of comments would be left requesting for an image's sauce. People ended up finding the sauce thing funny, so even after the word filter was deactivated, users still used the word sauce in place of source. It's remained this way since, and has spread to many other platforms, mainly Reddit. In many cases, it no longer carries an NSFW context, but is most frequently used in that context. In the same way as pizza, many of those 2015 emails contain mentions of hot dogs, pasta, and ice cream. Many latched on to some 4chan posts that gave possible explanations for these words, and for some, they became set in stone as predator code words. Some may be familiar with this image right here, which seems to be a leaked FBI document that conveniently has the same explanations for these code words as the 4chan post. Needless to say, this document isn't actually real, and often gets confused with this real document released by WikiLeaks showing off iconography that predators use, not code words. Let's make it so clear that the meanings of these words aren't based in any deep truth from what I can find. But anecdotally speaking, people swear by these being things that actual predators use. Another very common word used in the KidPowerHQ videos is cupcake. Of course, since many of them focus on desserts, cupcake is only one of many mentioned, but this has still led people to become wary. Many of you may know of the internet slang meme picking up a cupcake, which is a euphemism for meeting up with a minor with the intent to abuse them. This comes from an incident where disgraced YouTuber EDP445 was baited by predator hunters catfishing as an underage fan to meet up for sex. In the messages, she mentioned that she had cupcakes, so when confronted, EDP in a panic claimed he was just there to pick up a cupcake. Obviously, this was humorous to many people, so the word cupcake and picking up a cupcake soon became widespread slang referring to child predators. It should be no surprise that there are many odd/silly names for certain sexual acts. I don't need to explain this, you know what I'm talking about. Many of said names can be found in Urban Dictionary, which, to be clear, should not be used as a concrete source for anything, really. But when it comes to niche euphemisms, it's not the worst place to look. In the iconic "If Kids Ran the Airport" video, it mentions a unicorn that sneezes sparkles. As it turns out, both unicorn sneeze and sneezing unicorns are both euphemisms for sexual acts. Another thing frequently mentioned in these videos are dancing unicorns, which also happens to be a euphemism. Again, according to Urban Dictionary. Let's make that clear. Now that we've established this, I think it's best that we look at the channel and see what really set people off. Something that we should note up front is that this channel mentions pizza in almost every video. To be fair, it's generally somewhat appropriate in the video's context, but the fact that it's so frequently mentioned is somewhat suspect. Now, there's a video that's especially suspect, and that is "If Kids Ran the Internet." This video opens on a laptop with "cheesy pizza" in the search bar, and the voice saying, "If kids ruled the internet, the search engine would only show pizza." This channel's uploaded multiple videos revolving around kids designing the internet, with cheese pizza being a present theme in all of them. In the video "If Kids Design the Internet, No Passwords, Just Pizza," it mentions pop-up ads being replaced by pizza deliveries, leading many to question why pizza and internet searches are so closely linked. Another big point of criticism is their use of photorealistic children in the videos. In some cases, the children are seen being covered in chocolate, or white, slimy bubbles, which has led many people to find these depictions inappropriate. I think it's pretty obvious why we shouldn't be AI generating realistic pictures of children in the first place, but given the allegations against this channel, it makes it that much worse. I searched through this entire channel to find incriminating videos, but really, the full extent was just using words that may or may not be used in abuse contexts. This didn't feel like conclusive enough evidence to determine anything. But after going into the comments, I found some odd interactions. For example, one user commented, "What if kids ran Telegram?" KidPowerHQ responds with, "Okay, but imagine if kids really ran Telegram," which is an incredibly strange and suspect thing for someone to say, especially when you're trying to defend your image. But it doesn't even end there. Throughout their YouTube and Instagram, some odd comments were liked by the channel, seemingly being a public approval of the commenter's sentiment. What's also very suspect is the channel's description. Most of it isn't of any note, but there's one line that sets off a lot of red flags. While listing kid-like rules, it reads, "President? Check. School? Optional. Pizza emoji. Ice cream laws? Totally possible." That last line is incredibly strange. An ice cream emoji exists, so why is there a pizza emoji? According to the list of unverifiable code words that spread around, ice cream means young girls or sweet children. Even if we ignore the supposed code word, the conclusion of a pizza emoji when talking about laws doesn't help their case. This is all very suspect. But there's not necessarily any evidence to back up any wrongdoing. Weird YouTube comments, frequent mentions of pizza, and an odd description aren't really proof of anything. The only connection that we can directly find to CSAM material is them following USA_kids. But from what I've found, this rabbit hole is much, much deeper than it seems. This next part of the video is a bit confusing, as there's a very big lack of concrete evidence. Some users on TikTok have claimed that KidPowerHQ's Telegram hosted in their bio was a direct CSAM distribution ring. Screenshots exist of the account, cutting straight to the point and offering prices and sizes. I tried to find the original posters of these screenshots, but I was unable to, only finding screenshots and reposts. If these screenshots are real, then it's essentially case closed. KidPowerHQ was a ring for CSAM distribution, out in the open. It's horrifying, it's disgusting. However, since there's a lack of cold hard evidence, we can't 100% confirm this as the end of the story. I searched for hours and could not find any screenshots or archives showing this account's Telegram link. A while back, I found a thread, who I have no archive of someone claiming that their Telegram was seemingly random letters. Again, no proof was provided. In an act of pure desperation, I did something I never do, and I resorted to asking Twitter's chatbot Grok about a potential Telegram archive. Surprisingly enough, it had a result. Take this with a huge grain of salt, as I don't think we can trust AI chatbots to give us perfectly accurate information. But the account the bot provided was named QSJH1. After Googling this name, a massive and horrifying rabbit hole emerged before me. I ended up Googling this Telegram to no results. But as I was deleting my search, this search result appeared. A Burmese phrase meaning Myanmar only or Myanmar exclusive. I ended up clicking on this Burmese search result out of pure curiosity, and what I was met with is shocking. The first page of Google was filled with NSFW videos from Telegram and other sketchy websites. I didn't click on any of the links, but after translating their descriptions, the content was made very clear. This was to be expected, but it's still strange that this is what Google auto-filled after looking up a seemingly random account. The depravity really set in when looking through the Images tab. Here I found a TikTok link, which leads you to the search result, Telegram Rayleigh. Many of these results are in Burmese, while others are in English. Obviously, many of them pertain to Telegram. While looking through this search result, you'll find some thirst trap pages, which are obviously just advertisements for Telegram channels. However, when looking into the comments, you'll find something disgusting. Many of the commenters on these thirst posts are commenting the names of telegrams, with obvious predator dog whistles in them. I will not be showing the full names of these accounts here, but I will disclose parts of them. In this video, multiple commenters are talking about a telegram ending with link CP, and then a number. For example, there was one who had link CP15, another who had link CP1, etc. One can only assume what was being hosted on these telegram accounts, but having the letters CP and then a number leads one to imagine the worst. I wish I could say that this is the worst of it, but no, it gets so much worse. While scrolling through these public TikTok results, one specific video came up that made me genuinely ill. The video is a mix of a couple of videos of pizza being taken out of the oven, with the caption, "Cheesy Pizza, new group links Telegram." The comment section being filled with over 600 comments, the vast majority of them being links to Discord servers, Telegrams, and other sketchy websites. People in the comments were debating which are the best one, which have the best price, quality, etc. Some comments depict an age, for example, 51 next to a reverse emoji and the letter M. This is a clear dog whistle for 15-year-old male. It only gets worse when looking at the OP's account. When you look at this user's repost history, it's filled with videos of little girls. These videos are seemingly innocent, just being videos of kids playing or dancing, but given the context, these videos become horrifying. Another thing frequently reposted by this user are TikTok memes making tongue-in-cheek references to consuming CSAM. Many of the recommended videos from the Cheesy Pizza TikToks are more Burmese thirst trap channels, again with illegal Telegram channels being mentioned underneath. One I found was especially unsettling, as it featured a woman sitting on a bed with a Telegram caption. This was nothing out of the ordinary, but what set it off was a gif of a toddler censoring the woman's face, with the vast majority of her videos being sexual in nature. Using a child to cover up her face is extremely suspect. After finding all of this, I decided to end my research on this specific part of the rabbit hole, as it was just too disturbing and not good for my mental health. However, I did compile all the information and submitted a report to the NCMEC and the FBI, while also reporting the videos and channels on TikTok. It's clear to me now that there's a ring of evil people distributing some of the worst material possible, right now, under our noses, in a way that's so blatantly obvious that it almost feels like they're mocking us. I've only scratched the tip of the iceberg, as I'm sure it gets much worse than this, but it's not my job to take it down. I pray that my reports will be investigated, but I can't say that I have a lot of hope. The connection to Myanmar is very interesting to me, so I looked a little further. To understand the context of Myanmar's social media ecosystem, or lack thereof, we need to go through a brief history of the country of Myanmar. Since breaking off from British rule in 1948, Myanmar has been a very politically unstable country. Initially, democratic elections were held, but eventually, after years of instability and derision, the military temporarily held power, vowing to restore a citizen government, and then, straight up, seized power in the 1962 coup. From there, Myanmar was essentially run and governed by the military. For basically its entire existence, the military of Myanmar has been extremely harsh and cruel to its people, leading to the daughter of the country's founder to become a prominent pro-democracy activist, which led her to become beloved by the people. After widespread uproar, the military decided to concede and hold a free election in 1990. The military assumed this would be a low-risk decision, assuming they'd be supported and voted for by the people, but no. The daughter of the founder mentioned earlier won the election under the National League for Democracy. Obviously, the military did not respect a peaceful transfer of power, so she was placed under house arrest. She was under house arrest until 2010. The military stayed in power throughout this entire time. However, in 2011, after much consideration, a democracy would begin to be established, with the first election being in 2015. Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy party won this election, but expectedly, the military still had some pretty substantial power over the country. On November 8th, 2020, unrest could be felt. Following the general election, which saw the National League for Democracy winning a massive majority of seats in parliament, the military claimed the votes were fraudulent, and eventually staged a coup to take back power. Suu Kyi was arrested, the votes were dismissed, and the military was taking back the power that they once held, issuing a one-year state of emergency. The beginning of this coup was caught on a now iconic workout dance video that a woman just happened to be recording. As you would expect, the people were not happy with this coup, so they started protesting, demanding freedom and democracy. Doctors, teachers, and many other essential workers refused to work under the military regime. Most of these mobilization efforts were being hosted and spread on the internet, which led the military to disrupt internet access in an attempt to stop the spread of protest and civil unrest. Eventually, their suppression became more targeted, as on February 4th, 2021, Facebook was banned in Myanmar, as it was a key place for protest coordination, and also exposed civilians to more and more anti-military sentiment. As the days went on, more and more platforms were banned, with Twitter, Instagram, and WhatsApp being completely banned. Many used VPNs to bypass this. Eventually, internet blackouts were imposed, lessening people's right to information. Now this is where it becomes relevant to the KidPowerHQ story. One of the few platforms not banned by the military was Telegram. This platform, given its incredibly lax moderation, is a place where you can really just do and share anything. Unfortunately, with so many people on Telegram, many started to take advantage of its flaws. Since 2021, the country's been in the midst of a civil war, with thousands of civilians rebelling against the military. Telegram has been an incredibly helpful resource for the rebels, but it's also festered an awful underbelly of non-consensual material, revenge porn, and a lot of CSAM. Myanmar has a very conservative view on sex and sexuality, with pornography being strictly banned in the country, which has only led to this problem to get worse and worse. All of this brings us much needed context as to why there's so many Burmese Telegram's accounts being advertised on TikTok. Granted, there's a very high chance the majority are not CSAM, but they could still be material that wasn't uploaded with consent. Learning about this all is absolutely astonishing and explains a lot. However, we can't definitively link this to KidPowerHQ. Regardless, I still think it's worth noting that there is an awful, disgusting underbelly of illegal material being traded on TikTok, out in the open, and nobody's doing anything about it. If anyone watching this video works with TikTok or knows somebody who does, please give them this information, as they're really the only ones who can do anything about this. Now, I think it's time that we go back to Instagram and connect some loose threads tied to this baffling account. Going back to the old USA Kids Instagram, which was all but confirmed to be a front for a CSAM ring, we can find some strange connections to other accounts. In the bio of USA Kids, they had an Amazon link to a storefront selling children's books under MOONCA Productions. What's strange is that this link appeared in a variety of other children's-based Instagram accounts, notably one by the name of Seahawks Kids. Strap in, because what we're about to uncover is strange, to say the least. Seahawks Kids is what appears to be a fan account for the Seattle Seahawks, focusing on kids and activities that children can partake in the Seattle area. Many of these posts are children and babies, usually in some sort of Seahawks merchandise or material. This account has over 49 Instagram highlights, with some of them causing some suspicion, like one focused on reposting videos from a Seattle pizza place. But something that might change your entire viewpoint on this is who runs this account. According to a local news clip that they have pinned on their account, this page is run by a Russian woman named Daria Baganov. Daria claims that this account is a passion for her, and gives her meaning. In an interview with BoldJourney.com, she goes into detail further, and I quote, "Through Seahawks Kids, I found my purpose, to bring people together, to build something that makes children feel special, and to show that being a Seahawks fan is about more than just cheering on a team. It's about heart, it's about family, it's about passing on the values of strength, unity, and passion to the next generation. Because every Seahawks child is a part of something bigger, a part of the future, a part of our city, and a part of the Seahawks family." This is a very sweet sentiment, but you'll soon see this account may be involved in some pretty unsavory things. Checking their description, you won't actually find a MOONCA Productions affiliate link in their bio, but venturing through their many highlights, you'll find 4 that stand out, those being promotional stories for the coloring books sold by MOONCA Productions on Amazon. These stories also feature a now-deleted My Little Pony knockoff coloring book that was sold alongside the 3 that are still available. The way the child colored in this picture of Fluttershy freaked me out, to say the least. While looking through the Amazon listing, you'll find something kind of odd. These books were all listed from March to April of 2021. It's safe to assume the Pony book was also uploaded around this time, as the stories posted lines up with the date of the other books. When looking at the reviews, you'll find that they're overwhelmingly positive. But what's strange is that they're all posted within mere days of each other. The majority of these reviewers also purchased and reviewed all 3 books, which is a little strange, and feels like perhaps they could be botted reviews. This is odd given the fact that some of these accounts have left reviews for other products throughout the years. It's strange, but ultimately doesn't prove anything. You may be shocked to hear that Seahawks Kids followed USA Kids back when it was still up, according to a commenter on their pinned post. When looking through the likes and comments of Seahawks Kids, I found some curious accounts, also containing links and connections to MOONCA Productions. The first of which being the actual account of MOONCA Productions, which surprisingly doesn't feature the Amazon link, but rather the account features real estate videos in the Seattle area, their only tag post being one uploaded by Seahawks Kids, urging users to enter a giveaway for a free maternity photo shoot. Also tagged in this is an account by the name of MOONCA Agency. MOONCA Agency mainly uploads reels of product shots for different brands, which are pretty innocent in nature. But for some reason, they have a post of an AI-generated boy in a Seahawks jersey, messily eating pizza. This post sticks out like a sore thumb, as it really has nothing to do with the rest of the page. The caption reads, "Pizza time, hashtag pizza, hashtag Seahawks, hashtag GoHawks." When looking at who has liked this post, you'll find an account by the name of Meet the MOONCA. This page is run by a Russian mother, mainly posting pictures of her kid and the trips that they go on, while also having the very same MOONCA Productions Amazon link in her bio. What's interesting is that this child appears in a variety of Seahawks Kids reels, being voiced over by an AI-generated child voice, while trying to sell property in Seattle or promote local businesses.
Awesome, freshly built home in Leshai.
Turns out, this is Daria's account. The page is actually very sweet, and there's nothing suspicious or off about it. Her kid looks happy, they seem to be living an exciting lifestyle, and without the context of MOONCA's connection to USA Kids, you'd think nothing of it. Now, what's interesting is that one of her stories does include a screenshot from Telegram, but this doesn't prove anything other than the fact that she does indeed use Telegram, which again is a service that millions of people use and isn't inherently linked to anything suspicious. Looking through her LinkedIn confirms that she's the creator of MOONCA Productions and credits herself as a social media manager and producer. We learn here that MOONCA Productions has been in operation since 2012, and she seems to be the one behind all the posts and accounts. Whether or not MOONCA Productions has employees is something I wasn't able to find out, but it's always possible that there are more people outside of Daria managing it. When looking at Daria's page on the org, we see she's credited as a coloring book designer at Amazon, which fully proves who's behind the books, and of course all the links that we've seen throughout. This page claims that she works directly with the Seattle Seahawks, but this is something that I couldn't find any further evidence of. Going back to MOONCA Agency, looking through the likes on a variety of their posts will take you to an account by the name of USA Parents, which, upon further examination and cross-referencing with the surviving footage of USA Kids, I discovered that this account is essentially just a repost account of USA Kids. On this account, the comment section was completely empty. They shared nothing in their bio, and the account just seems overall dead, with their last post being from April of 2025. Looking through their tagged seems pretty innocuous, with the post just seeming like bot spam. When looking through their following, you'll find none other than Seahawks Kids. Seahawks Kids has also been found liking posts from the account. Since the Wayback Machine does a horrible job at archiving Instagram, we can't look back and see if they followed USA Kids. But given the fact that they're essentially the same page, the likelihood of that being the case is pretty huge. Obviously, there's no way of confirming it, but I believe it's kinda safe to assume that whoever owned USA Kids also operates USA Parents. One of the other accounts that frequently appears liking posts from all the pages that we've just talked about is one by the name of MGIMO Ladies, a Russian account who posts women who attend or are associated with Moscow State Institute of International Relations. The account is really nothing too crazy, mainly just posting pictures of Russian models, but what's interesting is that most of their posts are liked by Seahawks Kids and USA Parents. The only thing really of note on this page is a highlight that they have regarding a Telegram page that seems to be impersonating them, using their name and photos without permission. Honestly, I don't know what the connection between these accounts is. MGIMO Ladies could possibly be run by somebody who's friends or family with Daria, leading to all the page interactions, but there's really no way to confirm that. For me, this information only raises more questions than it does answers, so I'm left asking a variety of questions. Why was MOONCA involved with USA Kids? Why would such a seemingly innocent company link with a page that was clearly a front for CSAM distribution? To attempt to get some answers, I emailed and DM'd Daria and Seahawks Kids, to no avail. Since there's nothing directly linking Daria and USA Kids with the exception of Instagram mutuals and the MOONCA link, I don't think it's fair to say that she was directly involved with the account, or at least was aware of what it was being used for. A Reddit commenter claims that she blocked anyone who reached out to her trying to warn her of the danger of USA Kids, but this can't necessarily be proven. While the MOONCA post of the AI child eating pizza is definitely strange and suspect, it could also just be a total coincidence. The MOONCA link could also just be affiliate marketing, sent out and used by accounts who make content adjacent to children. Perhaps Seahawks and USA Kids were mutuals, and once Daria released the coloring books, they reached out to USA Kids with an affiliate link. Perhaps USA Kids used this link without being asked by MOONCA, to give them a look of credibility. Obviously, this is just a hypothesis and speculation, but I think it's important that we don't immediately run to implicate people who very well could be innocent in the trade of extremely illegal material. Some have suggested the theory that USA Kids was just an Instagram sludge account that got targeted by people distributing CSAM because of the account's relation to kids. Again, this can't be confirmed, nor can it really be debunked either. Whatever's happening, it's extremely strange, and we need answers. I wish I could come to some solid conclusion on what the hell is going on here, but given the fact that USA Kids has been taken down for so long, it's basically impossible to see if they interacted with any of the accounts that we've spoken out about. We can assume that they followed USA Parents, and judging by a commenter, we can assess that Seahawks Kids followed USA Kids, but that's not enough evidence to definitely implicate them in anything. I encourage you all to come to your own conclusions, but I also need to make it so clear that by no means should you go out and harass any of the accounts mentioned here. Not at all. That will only serve to harm not only what could be an investigation, but it could also be going towards people who've done nothing wrong. Do not harass anyone mentioned. Redditor Coom Commando uploaded a post to the KidPowerHQ subreddit, bringing to light an odd website that he found through the comment section of r/copypasta thread about KidPowerHQ. The Redditor linked a now blank site by the name of Majimu.com, claiming that they followed KidPowerHQ on Instagram. This link led to a website offering a service where you could upload a picture of a child, which would then AI generate a storybook of the child as the main character. This service is obviously just AI slop, but there are some details about it that led Redditors to become a bit suspect. The first and most obvious one is that this is a website where you upload pictures of a child. That alone gives its alleged connection to KidPowerHQ grounds for at least a bit of suspicion. It's also found that this website was located in Maharashtra, India. As we discussed earlier, KidPowerHQ is also located in India. Using whoisdomaintools.com, I learned that this website was created on May 1st of 2025. But the only Wayback Machine archive of the website is from July. July 12th shows a fully operational website, with nothing particularly suspicious. But by July 21st, the website was reduced to the blank screen that we see today. The only things available being the logo in the top left and a login page, which still offers a one-time password if you send your email in. On the surface, this is all you can find in modern times. However, if you look up the website in Google and click on the image of their logo, you'll find that it directs you to their terms and conditions page, which is still active. It's here that we learn some interesting information. The 8th term is a limitation of liability clause, which isn't uncommon to see when agreeing to terms and conditions. However, it's the phrasing that seems a bit off. To the fullest extent permitted by law, Majimu.com shall not be liable for any indirect, incidental, or consequential damages arising from the use of our services. Keep in mind this is an AI generation service. The 11th term claims these terms are governed by the laws of India. Any disputes shall be subject to the exclusive jurisdiction to the courts in Maharashtra, India. This confirms the service's location. Their final term, displaying contact information, is where it gets interesting, linking an email. I decided to reach out and play dumb, and the results were interesting to say the least. Given both MOONCA Productions and Majimu having Moo in the name, I was curious to see whether or not they were connected, while also mentioning that I couldn't operate the website. Within only 25 minutes, I got a response reading, "Hi Raymundo. Unfortunately, the site is not operational. We are not connected to MOONCA Productions on Instagram. We were not sure if this is a good idea. But if you're looking for anything in children's storybooks, you can let us know. I'm happy to help." Our latest prototype was able to build custom storybooks with the kid as the main character. You just prompt the story title, small description, and a kid's photo, and it will generate a whole storybook with images and dialogue. This email was just about what I expected, but the inclusion of "we were not sure if this is a good idea" piqued my interest. What the hell did they mean by this? Was he referring to the service as a whole? My inquiry into their operations? Their shuttering of the site? Very weird and confusing stuff. While a lot of my findings have turned out to be somewhat inconclusive, there was an odd piece of evidence found by YouTuber Corp, covered in his video about KidPowerHQ. In it, he looks through the accounts that were posting the link in bio comments on USA Kids, specifically an account by the name of Rudolph Wadi 021, who was responsible for leaving hundreds of link in bio comments on videos featuring child-related material. He came to the conclusion that this account was likely a bot account, used to spam comment and lead predators towards their Instagram. Through this, he found an account by the name of Wadi FK, which led people not only to a Telegram, but to a Facebook page as well. Through this Facebook, they found what seems to be Wadi's main account, which initially doesn't seem too off. However, when you look at the Facebook that was linked on the Instagram page, it showed many of the same photos as Wadi's main account, only they were slightly edited, leading to suspicion that this account could be some form of online identity theft. However, the next nugget of information threw this into an entirely new light. On Wadi's Facebook, there's a woman by the name of Beryl, who is seen in some of his pictures. Allegedly, Beryl was also the name of someone who was selling CSAM on Telegram through the USA Kids comments. If we look at Wadi's TikTok, you can find videos and pictures of him with Beryl. The TikTok tagged at the time matches the same username seen in the screenshots from Telegram. Looking through Beryl's Facebook and TikTok, there's really no connection to any suspicious or illegal actions, which leads me to believe that, again, this may be some form of identity theft. The fact that there are two Facebook accounts for Wadi, which vary slightly, but one posts very inconsistently and derivatively, is extremely suspect. There's nothing conclusive to this branch of the story, which is unfortunately a consistent theme. As we reach the end of this documentary, I think it's best that we summarize everything discovered so far. If Kids Ran the Airport blows up on TikTok, which leads people to look further into the account responsible for it. They find a Telegram in the description, which is swiftly deleted, but they're found to follow an Instagram parenting memes account filled with spam bot comments, directly leading to the illegal trade of CSAM. The account responsible is taken down after a mass reporting, but in the aftermath, link in bio comments started appearing on KidPowerHQ's account. People looked through their content and found what seemed to be a lot of dog whistles used by predators. This led the account to defend itself, convincing absolutely nobody. Odd interactions were found with the comments, only making the public more suspicious. When searching the account's former Telegram, Google's autocomplete leads you to a search term that translates to Myanmar exclusive, which leads to thousands of Burmese Telegram accounts selling NSFW material. When looking at the TikTok search term this leads to, you find a lot of strange content from Myanmar, seemingly containing dog whistles of their own, with some accounts clearly being hotbeds of people sharing highly illegal telegrams with each other. An aspect of the USA Kids account not often discussed was the Amazon link in the description, leading to coloring books from MOONCA Productions. MOONCA Productions can be directly linked back to Daria Baganov, who runs an account by the name of Seahawks Kids, a seemingly innocent Seattle-based football fan account, featuring hundreds of pictures of children, some of them being real, some of them being AI. There are a wide variety of accounts associated with MOONCA, who may or may not have been mutuals with USA Kids. Some of the accounts associated have some strange imagery involved, but nothing directly incriminating, leading to an inconclusive end. Some believe that you can link back to the people responsible for the illegal Telegram accounts to Facebook, and while they definitely appear to be associated, it could also be the result of criminals taking the names and faces of innocent people. It's critical that things like this aren't taken out of hand by people trying to do the right thing. We can learn a lot from the Smart Schoolboy 9 case, where an actual predator was found and then a bunch of young people online who thought they were vigilantes went to the streets and tried to hunt him down, which ended up muddying and ruining any actual legal case that could be held against him, leading to the guy basically getting off scot-free. This information has been submitted to the authorities, so the best thing you as an individual can do is file reports with all the information available to you if you feel inclined to do so. It's critical that you do not go out and harass anyone involved, or throw unsubstantiated accusations their way. It will only serve to harm and not help. As it stands now, the KidPowerHQ situation is an ongoing case, and there have been some developments that have come recently. At the start of September, the KidPowerHQ Instagram was taken down. I can't find what specifically the reason was, but I imagine people were just mass reporting it, and that's how we got here. There's also word of mouth that an FBI investigation has been happening for this throughout the past few months. Also, without any proof. I looked up and down, and I couldn't find the actual source of any of these claims. Waddy and Beryl seem to have fled the internet, as their TikToks and Facebooks seemingly have been deleted. I know that a lot of you are probably upset after hearing this information. For the past 30 some odd minutes, you've been assaulted with incredibly disturbing information, and a lot of the time it feels like there's nothing that can be done about it. But I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. We all may be standing here as individuals looking at a screen. But if we come together as one, there's a real good chance that change will actually come. If it becomes widespread knowledge that there is CSAM distribution on the surface of TikTok, that's going to reflect really poorly on TikTok, and then they're going to have to do something about it. Now, here's the thing. In a lot of cases, I would encourage people to go out and hunt down the material and report it yourselves. But rather, what I request you do is send an email to TikTok or any other platform that hosts this sort of media. That way, you're not exposing yourself to the material, but you're giving them the information that they can look into. I also request that if you feel so inclined and you want to help make a change, that you spread the word. If you have a platform, if you have an audience, hell, even just to your friends and family, the more people aware of the dangers on the internet regarding children, the better. If you felt the information in this video was important, I humbly request that you signal boost this video by doing the things the algorithm likes, like leaving a comment and liking the video. There may also be the option to hype it, I'm not sure, but that will also help greatly. The more people made aware of things like this, the better. A lot of the time it feels hopeless. It feels like these corporations don't care, that they don't do anything to stop this. But if enough people get out there and start talking about it, things do change. If enough reports are filed, they do look into it. It's not a perfect fix. It's kind of a game of whack-a-mole. But I think it's fair to say that reducing their numbers is still very helpful when it comes to protecting children online. Thank you to everybody who's watched all the way, and I hope that through this discussion, some change can come. This research has been soul-crushing in a lot of ways, and incredibly disturbing. But it'll all be worth it if at least one child is spared. I've been Raymundo 2112, you've been a great audience, and I'll see you all in the next one.